Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to our lecturer Dr. Salahuddin and all my friends. My name is Muhammad Amirul Hakim bin Nur Azman, metric number 265103. So our group will present about the effect of inflation rate on the investment performance in the manufacturing sector in Malaysia. Firstly, this study is to investigate about the effect of the inflation rate on the investment performance in Malaysia manufacturing sector from 2013 to 2020. This is because the inflation rate is an important indicator to the economic environment, especially to a developing country like Malaysia. Next, the change of inflation rate in manufacturing sector is important for the investor, including public and private investment, because it will affect the rate of return. And lastly, the study also found that the flows of interest rate and employment rate in manufacturing sector will also influence the investment performance. For the objective, first, to investigate the relationship between the inflation rate and the investment performance in Malaysia manufacturing sector. Second, to examine the effect of interest rate and employment rate to investment performance. And last, to determine which variable to be identified as the most important indicator to investment performance in Malaysia manufacturing sector.
To our lecturer, and my name is Kiew Chao Min, and metric number 271311. So I will continue the part explanation for the decreasive statistic. So we can observe that the inflation fall as low as 2.1% and as high as 26.9%, where the investment performance fall as low as RM 7.5 billion and as high as RM 33.6 billion. The standard deviation of investment performance 7.285599 is more spread from the means that inflation 8.123748, but it is less spread than interest rate 0.3808508 and employment rate 3.158 and 96. So for the correlation analysis, the correlation between investment performance and inflation rate is negative 0.4043, which indicated that they are moderate negative correlated. Therefore, more investment in manufacturing sector is related to lower inflation rate. So for the correlation between investment performance, which interest rate and employment is negative 0.18 and negative 0.2446, which indicated that they are weak negatively correlated. However, more investment for manufacturing sector that's associated with low interest rate and employment rate. That's all my part. Thank you.
The next analysis is the multiple regression analysis. As we can see from the output of data, the slope coefficient of negative 0.3313, meaning that if the inflation rate goes up by 1%, the investment performance will drop by RM 0.33 billion, where other factors hold constant. At the same time, the slope coefficient of negative 0.1914, meaning that if the interest rate increases by 1%, the investment performance will decrease by RM 0.19 billion at ceteris paribus. At last, the slope coefficient of negative 0.1664 indicates that when the employment rate in the manufacturing sector raises by 1%, the investment performance will fall by 0.19 billion ringgit Malaysia, where other factors are holding constant. After the coefficient analysis, we can see the t-test result as well. From the t-test of significant approach, we can see that all the three independent variables t-statistics value are greater than the t-critical value, which means that the null-hypothesis cannot be rejected. Therefore, all the three independent variables are statistically insignificant to the investment performance in the manufacturing sector of Malaysia. For the f-test of overall significance, we have to assume that all the independent variables are equal to 0, and that the f-statistics values is 1.8277, which is smaller than the f-critical value 2.96. Therefore, the hash null will not be rejected. And the test is statistically insignificant to the investment performance at the 95% of level of significance. The R-square value, which is the coefficient of determination, shows that only 70% of the observed data is fit to this regression model. After that, we're using the normality test for the model. We're using the skewness, kurtosis, and the chi-square test. From the result, we can see that the probability of skewness and kurtosis, both values are greater than the 0.05, which is the level of significance. And the chi-square test also show that its probability is 0.8898, also greater than 0.05. Therefore, the hash null hypothesis cannot be rejected, and the residual shows it is a normal distribution. That's all from me. Thank you, doctor.